Hi kids, welcome to Personal Finance. This is chapter 17. We're going to do sections 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to concentrate on 1 and 3 this week, section 2 next week. The essential question is, what research and planning can you do to help secure your financial future? I want you to take a look at the vocabulary. These are all key terms. These will be covered mostly next week in the Quizlet portion, all right? So all of these key terms I will get to next week. We may introduce some of them this week. So section 1 is outline your financial goals and evaluate how they align with your values. All right, gonna have to do a little bit of role playing. Imagine you are your older self, or imagine you are your parents. All right, right now your parents pretty much take care of everything as far as your financial goals are. I don't even know if you guys have any financial goals. Summarize the way you prepare for and survive a financial crisis. They're going to happen. All right, we just got out of one. 2008 to 2010 was called the Great Recession. All right, and there's no doubt that there will be another one, two, or more on the horizon. Throughout your life, you're going to experience financial crisis. Identify sources of money you can invest and describe the factors that affect your investment choices. I'm going to go rather quickly. All right, so preparing for a financial crisis. Again, this is a crisis if you're out of work for a long time, or if you've been terminated, or you've left your job, you've resigned. I want to make sure that before that you set up a large emergency fund. Know exactly what you owe. Once the crisis happens, reduce your spending. Always keep your credit card balances low or pay them off. You might want to apply for a line of credit at that time or borrow some money from a financial institution. Let your creditors know that you're unable to make payments, and monitor your investments and retirement accounts. You don't want to tap into them unless it is a dire emergency or a dire crisis. This is one of your worksheets. Take a look at it. Some of the risks to investment and saving are inflation. All right, costs always go up. They never go down. We're going to talk about inflation. Interest rates. If you invest in a corporate bond and the interest rate goes higher, the value of your bond goes lower. All right, so that can be a risk factor. Business failure. If you invest in a company or a string of companies and one of them goes bankrupt, the other ones may fail, or it might have a ripple effect of some sort. So there's always business failure in the marketplace. Financial markets, they are all interactive, all right? They're all weaved into a big web, and it's called the financial market. If there's problems in the banking industry, it may cause problems in the transportation industry. If there's problems in the agriculture industry, it may cause problems in the transportation industry, which may in turn cause problems in the financial industry. All right, so this is a big risk and always has been. And global investment. You know, what happens in Europe affects the United States. What happens in other countries will affect other countries. The best I can recollect were Greek bonds a couple of years ago. The market was really shaky for about 2 months because the country of Greece was threatened not to pay their usual bond payments. And what happened was the whole market took a hit because of the interconnectedness of global markets. Okay, so if something happens in Spain, or something happens in Iceland or Portugal or China or Japan, it may affect your investments here in the United States. So these are risks, components of risks when you get into the market. First off, what are the sources of money to invest? Obviously, you get paid, so pay yourself first. Your employee might have a retirement plan, which you can use as a source, all right, to start an investment program. Your employer may also have an elected savings plan, and there may be, on your part, some kind of special savings effort. And then always, you might get these gifts, large gifts, inheritances. We may experience that once or twice in our lifetime, maybe more. And these windfalls, if you hit the lottery, or if somebody leaves you some money, or you just strike it rich, those are sources of money. So how should we invest it? Well, first, we should take it easy and very conservatively establish some financial security. Cash, CDs, saving accounts, money market, US bonds. All right, real low risk stuff. Once you have that financial security, you can head up the risk ladder to safety and income. You can go into US Treasuries, state municipal bonds, utility stocks are always good. Then you want to get a little more risky. All right, this is already after you have your nest egg built down here or starting to grow it. That's exactly what this is, growth. You want to get into income and growth stocks, mutual funds, maybe buy a piece of real estate or some corporate bonds. And level 4 is after you have all this and you're happy with all of your stocks and your bonds and your real estate, you may be able to invest in some collectibles, trade the options market, play some commodities. I wouldn't necessarily put money into gems, but precious metals, gold, silver, palladium, platinum, speculative stocks, junk bonds are there for a reason. We'll discuss them later. So the first question I asked was, what research and planning can you do now to help secure your financial future? And when you know the different investment opportunities and the financial planning process, you'll be able to select a savings or investment program tailored to your goals. So there are two basic types of stocks. We're going to get into corporate bonds and government bonds, real estate, explain the purpose of diversification. This is all going to be next week. All right, and list the steps involved in developing a personal investment plan. So right on to section 3, what is a financial planner? What is the role of a financial planner? What actions you should take when managing your investments and the sources of investment information. I think this is one of your worksheets. You should, the best way that a financial planner comes in, the first thing he does is assesses your current financial position. Then he or she offers a clearly written plan with recommendations. Usually involves the purchase of an investment, life insurance, or an annuity. Then he or she will discuss the plan with you and answer any questions. Keep track of your progress. Hopefully at some point you have bought, and then guide you to other financial experts as needed. Other financial experts could be the tax attorney. They could also be stockbrokers. A financial planner may not have his stockbroker license, all right, so he or she will refer you to another financial planner that has that expertise. Speaking of expertise, you want to ask this financial planner, what are his areas of expertise or her areas? Are they affiliated with a company? Make sure that they're licensed or certified. Maybe they have a master's degree or a chartered financial consultant, certified financial planner. Find out how much they charge. Make sure that their first initial consultation is free. Get a sample of work and maybe some references. Make sure that they're not doing this as a side gig. Make sure that it's their primary job. So once that you buy your investments, well, I'm sorry, you're still at the evaluation. Pick out 10 stocks or bonds or investments, however you want to do it. Lower it down to 5, lower it down to 2 if you're picking just one. Or if you're picking 2, go with the both of them. As you invest, obviously you should monitor your investments. You can do that through an online monitoring service. Most companies provide that. Think about your tax considerations when you're investing. Okay, if you're in a partnership or you invest in a partnership, you might have some extra tax work to do at the end of the year. What is taxable income when we're talking about investments? Well, even the interest that you make on your bank account, that's taxable. If a company pays you dividends, they are taxable. If you earn any rental income, that's all taxable. Okay, so most income, aside from your regular income, your paycheck, in addition to that, your dividends, interest income, rental income, if you have any, is all taxable. These are economic institutions. I think we all know what a bank is. All right. Stockbroker usually just does buying and selling, just trading, sits at the desk and really just does brokering. The financial advisors are the ones who bring business to these stockbrokers. Okay, if you purchase from them, they will go through a stockbroker. Real estate agents obviously sell real estate. Corporations, there are a ton of them from A to Z. All right. Some of them are privately held, some of them are publicly held. And then there are the nonprofits that provide services, usually charities, the Red Cross, Salvation Army, March of Dimes, Easter Seals, Susan G. Komen. There's a ton of non-for-profit organizations as well. All right, a depository institution is where you keep your money. All right, so it just basically they manage the money that you deposit. They give it back to you, they write you checks, they honor your checks. And these guys work hand in hand with non-depository institutions such as the Fed. All right, the Fed. Gosh, I can't even spell Fed. That's supposed to be an F. The Fed, Federal Reserve, and all the other financial institutions. Merrill Lynch, Goldman Sachs, Prudential, Liberty Mutual, Lincoln Financial. All right, there are some big investment houses. They are called non-depository institutions. They basically don't do what banks do, and banks don't do what these non-depository institutions do. So I hope you enjoyed the show. Complete those worksheets. If you have to, go ahead and review this video or check out the PowerPoint in the resources folder. Thank you.